Hello everyone, today we're back with a new screencast on AsgardCMS. To give a quick recap about what we talked about last time, we started developing the backend for the testimonials module. We started creating the entity, the migrations files, the form, and the basic views here. So we can create random testimonials on the AsgardCMS website. Let's add some testimonials as a test. Let's just quickly generate a couple of sample here. Copy this, and now we have some lorem ipsum text. Put this here, and create a couple of more. To go more quickly, let's go into our SQL Pro database, AsgardCMS. We have now a testimonials table, and let's duplicate a couple of times. All right. Now we have our testimonials here. So what we didn't do in the last video was create the front end for our testimonials module. So we can't actually see our testimonials here on the site anywhere. So let's do this today. First, we're going to display the testimonials below the slider here. Let's create a quick title and put the testimonials here under this. So to do this, let's go into the home page and create a new template. I've set up something already, so we don't waste as much time doing content. So as you can see here, we have a simple row with 4 columns. Let's 3 columns. Let's delete this. So this, well, So as you can see here, we have a simple row with 3 columns. This looks as follows. So we have 3 testimonials and a link to the user. Now let's go back into our template. We don't really need those 2, so we can remove those since it will be a simple loop. And we'll keep this for now. What we need to do now is create a view composer to get the latest 3 testimonials or 3 random testimonials. Let's do this now. I'll create a composer directory with the new latest testimonials composer. We'll create the compose view method. View. And we'll also inject the testimonials repository here. Let's initialize all fields and we're good to go. What we don't have yet is a method on the repository to get the latest testimonials. Let's add this now. So on our repositories folder, we open our testimonial repository and we'll add a method called random testimonials. We'll return here a illuminate database eloquent collection. So now that this is done, we'll see now if we open our, let's go first in our cache, but if we open either of those, we'll see a red line here saying that we're missing one method. Let's implement the missing method. And we're just copying from another method here and changing to have those testimonials. This just says that we cache the results of the repository into this key and with those tags. So now that that is done, we can open the eloquent repository. Same thing here. It also tells us we're missing a method. And now we just need to implement that method. So we'll get here the random 3 testimonials. So for that we can use a order by row and use the rand function, SQL function. We'll take 3 and get. Now in our view composer, we can link that on the view. Like so. So now on our view we can access this variable once we have bound that to the view. Let's do this in our provider. So here we have a register method. We can use view composer. Our view name is, let's go see, home. So we're gonna bind that on home. And we're gonna call here our view composer. Class. Import that. And that's done. Let's test this on our view. Let's dump the latest testimonials and see. So now here we can see we have a collection of 3 items. So now we can just loop over this. And use our template here to display. Let's echo the testimonial content. Testimonial URL and the user. So now if we come and see this, we can see we have an undefined variable. Oh, of course, I have $2 there. So now we can see we have the testimonials. One thing I see is we have pre-text there. Let's go back into our admin and edit our testimonials. That's because I copied the lorem ipsum from PHP Storm. Let's update this in database. It will be faster, like so. Now if we view again our homepage, we can see the latest testimonials, 3 random testimonials with a link to the user. As we can see though, it links relatively to the app name. For that we need HTTP in our URL. That's pretty simple to do again. Let's do that quickly in the database. Like so. So now we can see we're linking to that site. Let's maybe make that link open in a new window. And we're good to go. So now we have all random 3 testimonials on the home page. What we could also do is create a testimonial page and add that link here in the navbar. To do that, we need to create a new template, what I already did here, called testimonials. The name here is important because we're going to see that name in the page module. So now if we go back into the pages on the backend, you can see I already added a testimonial page. And here I decided to use that testimonial template name. You can see also all the other pages in that same folder. So we're going to select the testimonials template and just give it a title, a slug, and a content. Maybe also give it a page title. And for now, let's just do this. So now we have our updated page. So what we need to do now is create a link in the navbar. To do that, let's open our partial here, the navigation. And let's add the link right after the documentation here. So I'm gonna copy a piece of code for that. You can see it sets the active class if you are on the testimonials URI, and we are linking to the page module on that page. So if we go back now, we can see that new link. If we click on that link, we can see we are on the testimonials template I created earlier. The template is this one here. It's nothing fancy, just a title and 2 examples here of testimonials. Now to fill this template, we can again create either a view composer to bind to this template and show maybe all the testimonials, since at the start we might not have a lot. So let's create a new view composer. Again, we are going to create the decompose method. And again, inject the testimonials repository. Also, we need to initialize the fields. And let's bind that to the view. We're just gonna grab everything for now. What we also need to do now is bind this to the testimonials template in the service provider, like we did for the home page. So now we're going to bind it to the testimonials page, but bind the newly created view composer for this. So this name here must be equal to the template name here. So now on our template name, we have access to that testimonials variable. So we're going to make a loop here. And we're going to paste this div inside here. And we can remove this one now. It was just a placeholder. Let's echo out the content. The link. And the username. So now we should see the latest testimonials on this page. Oh, and I must have done a typo somewhere. Oh yeah, that's the PHP some bug again. When you create a file too fast, it doesn't put the last characters in the file name. So now you can see we have our testimonials on this page. This will need some styling, but it's just an example to show you how you can bind data on the view. So to quickly go over again what we did here, we added 3 random testimonials on the home page by using a view composer and getting the 3 random testimonials. We also created a page in the pages module and bound that to the testimonials template, so we can use that template to display our data. And we added a link in our navbar here. We also grabbed all the testimonials and looped over them on this page. So this quickly shows you how you can use your frontend on AsgardCMS. It's not very complicated, it's just basic Laravel stuff that you can use in here. What we also could have done is created a frontend route. Instead of using the pages module, we could have used frontend routes and create a route manually ourselves. This is not very complicated, so we can go over that quickly now. Let's close everything and create a new file, frontend route. So when you need to create frontend routes, you create this file. This file can be named whatever you want, but the important part is to include it in this service provider, the route service provider. And you include it just like the backend routes. and you call this, of course, the same name as the file name you created earlier. So for us, that's the front-end route. So here we're going to create a simple route for our testimonials and link that to a controller. We didn't create a controller yet, so let's do that now. Let's create a public controller. This can be named again whatever you want. I'm just going quickly here. We extend the base public controller again. That you don't have to do that, but if you do this, you get the current user on the view. Let's inject our testimonials repository. And apply those fields. Now that we have this, we can create a view for this. Let's create an index view and return our testimonials template here. So now you also need to wrap all testimonials. Right. What we also need to do, of course, is remove this page. Oh, of course, I forgot to add the action here. So let's create this first. Our testimonial, our public controller. Add index. And remove that page. Alright, so now we need to change also the link, since that page won't exist anymore. Let's create a named route ourselves. So let's do this as this. That's the name of our route. Link to this, and let's see how it goes. So we created a link here, testimonials, and we're still on this page here. Now we just need to check the active link. I see that's not the case there. Of course, I need to add a wildcard because we have the language here. So now our active link is set correctly. So as you can see, we have now set a front-end route on our module, using and the page module here, as you saw, and also using manual routes via a controller, etc. So as you see, that's very easy to do. We just don't need to forget to add to load those routes via the get frontend route method on the route service provider. And with this concludes the basic front-end creation with AsgardCMS. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.